Well, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Nat, and I accidentally created popcorn bombs. How did I do it? Well, I messed up my candy recipe, but the good news is I remember how I messed it up, and today I'm going to show you. You know, sometimes happy accidents are just a part of life, and with cooking, it happens a lot, believe it or not. So, today I'm going to show you how to make this delicious sweet and salty snack that's great for the holidays or game days. So, pop me on the counter, hit that like and subscribe button, and let's make some popcorn bombs. Okay, so to make Nat's popcorn bombs, happy accident, you're going to need whatever chocolate you want to use. I've got some milk chocolate and some white chocolate in here. I just like the creamy flavor that it adds. You're going to need about 8 or 9 Kraft caramels and 2 tablespoons of butter, some heavy whipping cream. Oh, salted caramel. Now, I got this at TJ Maxx, and I also got like some cinnamon sugar. Don't be sleeping on TJ Maxx and Marshalls. That's all I'm going to tell you. And then this is Madagascar Pure Vanilla. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and temper our chocolate. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And what you do is you're just going to put it in there for 30 seconds at a time and stir it. I'm going to try to show you some of that really quick. Okay, so like I said, we're going to take our chocolate and we're going to stick it in the microwave for 30 seconds at a time, or until it is the consistency that you want it to be. Again, I tempered my chocolate wrong the first time that I did this. I never made candy before, so because it was tempered the wrong way, we're just going to temper it the wrong way again because it seemed to work out for that purpose. So we're going to go ahead and do that for 30 seconds. Now we have it the consistency we want. Again, this is not the right consistency for making candy. This is the accidental correct consistency for making pop. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our chocolate. I'm only doing 6 today because, I mean, unless you're eating popcorn every day, you really kind of don't need more than 6. So we're going to just again, this isn't a pouring consistency, so I've got to scrape it out. I didn't know what I was doing wrong, and I was impatient with it, but again, it's something that paid off. So, well, I said I was going to do 6, but I don't know that I have enough to do 6. So, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and kind of scoop, 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 okay? And then, we have this scraper. Now, this is not necessarily a chocolate scraper. If you have a mold like this, you're going to want to go gently, or it's going to go down the way it just did. Now, we're going to try to save that extra chocolate to heat it up later. If there's not enough, all we got to do is just heat up some more. It's not a big deal. Whoops. Sorry about the bonky there. Alright. Now, you want to make sure that you get every one of them filled up. Okay, you don't want any cracks. Alright. And unfortunately, because of the type of silicone mold this is, that's kind of the best I can do with it right now. Now we want to let that sit 5-10 minutes. I'm going to put mine in the cooler. And then once there's a hard shell on the outside, we'll flip that over and let all that chocolate drain to the bottom so that we have that nice candy shell there. Now, while this sits up, we're going to go ahead and make our filling. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our little caramels that we got, about 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to go ahead and turn on our heat. Now, we're going to let that get a little bit of a heat, get that butter melted. Okay? We kind of want this to be a little bit thick. I know you've seen videos of people putting their caramels in their popcorn. That's what kind of gave me the idea to try these in popcorn, because they were kind of soft and the caramel was a little too thick for people to chew. That's my bad, yo, because I was just trying to make something tasty, and I'm telling you, it's tasty. It was just a little too thick to be a candy you can just pop in your mouth, because, I mean, you were masticating like nobody's business. So you're going to just keep doing this until it gets nice and creamy in that caramel flavor. Now once your butter's melted, you'll go ahead and put in about a teaspoon of vanilla. We just want a little bit of a creamy flavor. And then we'll start to stir this. Now keep stirring it while it melts so it doesn't burn or crystallize or stick to the pan. You want to use the smallest saucepan that you can for this because whenever you pour it into your bag, you don't want a lot of wide lip because it's going to flow out of your bag. So you want something that's going to be easy to pour into a piping bag so that you can go ahead and make that everything it ought to be. Alright, I'm going to get this melted. Nice and creamy. We're going to go ahead, shake it really good and add some of our heavy whipping cream. Now what this is going to do is keep it from having that too chewy texture that I was talking about. Now what we're going to do here, this is that salted caramel I was telling you about. And I like the way, you know, salty and sweet taste together and popcorn, so I figured this would be a good addition. And yeah, it is sugary, it is sweet, but it's also salty. Look, I'm the messiest cook. Y'all see me splashing this stuff around? It might be messy, but it tastes good. Alright, now that we have this all nice and smooth, we're going to let it sit here and cool for just a couple of minutes till it's where we can like touch it and pour it in a piping bag, because that piping bag is going to be really hot in your hand. So we're just going to let this sit for a minute and we'll come back and finish up piping it into the bombs. Okay, so these are set up and they're hardened. They are a little thick, but again, I made a mistake whenever I did it, so that's why it's thick. We're following the same recipe though. Now I put my caramel in this little Wilton piping bag. Okay, we're going to take some scissors, and we don't want to cut off a whole bunch, just that little snip right there. Now we're going to take it, and we're just going to fill. You don't want to fill all the way up. You just want to fill a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to bump the camera. And it's still a little warm, so it's hard for me to touch it. I let it sit here for a good 20 minutes and it's still hot. So, this is a little creamier than the last time I did it, but like I said, you just want to fill it up just enough that you leave some for the top whenever you redo the chocolate. Okay, now, excuse me. Alright, almost there. Okay, that should be good. Now we're going to let this set up until that caramel completely cools down, because if it's hot, it's not going to adhere to the chocolate. So we're going to give this a few minutes and let it sit up while I melt and temper the chocolate. Now what I did for this chocolate is that I took everything that was in the bottom of the pan here from whenever I flipped it over, and I kind of took that parchment paper and rolled it up so that the dried chocolate would kind of crunch up a little bit. And then I put it in here, and I'm going to go ahead and just re-temper it so that I can do the caps on these popcorn bombs. Okay, we've let them cool down. We've tempered some more chocolate. Again, that same consistency that you did before. And we're just going to put a little bit on top of each one. Make sure it sits in there and gets a good cap on it, because we want it to be enclosed so that whenever we put it in the pan with that popcorn, it's just going to melt and get gooey all over it. So we're going to do this. Alright, we're just going to leave it there for a second. Okay. Alright. And we're just going to gently, like before, scrape. Again, with the harder molds, this is a lot easier and a lot less messy. Which, for somebody like me, who's messy a lot anyway, like, I don't know if y'all watched it, but there was this junior baking championship, and there was this little kid named Gabriel, and he was so messy. And I was just like, that is me. I'm just so messy. And bless his heart, his stuff did not look good. And I'm going to tell you, that's a problem I have sometimes. His stuff did not look good, but he tried. He worked his little heart off. And And the funniest thing was that every time he got judged, he was like, I know it looks bad, but does it taste okay? But does it taste good? And it just tripped me out because, bless his heart, he's just like me. He just wanted it to taste good. So we've got the caps on these. We're going to let these sit for a couple hours and get really hard. And then we're going to make some popcorn. Okay, so we're back. When you get done with them, you might have to push. That's a good thing about the silicone ones, is that you can push them if they get kind of stuck. So all you're going to need to make this popcorn is 3 tablespoons of oil. That's right, I call it oil because I'm from the South. If it goes in the car, it's oil. If it goes in a pan, it's oil. Alright. Then you're going to take a 1/3 cup of your kernels and just put them in there. Now we're going to turn that front heat on high. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of shake it up to get that oil coating. Now once we start to see it pop, that's when we're going to go ahead and add our popcorn bomb. So give me just a second and let's get this joker popping. You know, the fun thing about this is that my kids love to have a good snack during the holidays, and whenever we are watching Christmas movies, it's always like, Mom, I want popcorn, I want popcorn. So when I accidentally created this, they were really, really excited because it was different, you know? And you know, I'm not much of an inventor, but creating this, it really helped me show my kids a different side of what I can do. And it made me really excited that I created something that tasted so good, and it was just an accident. Alright, once you see these fellas start popping, drop her in there and put your lid on because they're going to pop out if you don't. Alright, we're going to wait until that starts popping. And oh my goodness, look at it. It's poppity pop pop popping. Here we go. Oh my gosh, look at that ooey gooey chocolatey caramel popcorn. This is going to be so yummy. Wow, this is an easy, fun, delicious, sweet and salty snack. Chocolate and caramel. Look, this was a fun treat. It was an accident, but it was a happy accident, you know. So thanks for watching the first episode of my channel. Subscribe to see more. I'm going to be doing a lot of different things, and hopefully you'll learn something from me, or at least have fun with me in my kitchen. So subscribe and stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of fun together. Bye-bye.